Todd is great and he is always baked. Morning sun shining, we can't be late. Coffee brewing, tunes on the go. Knock knock, it's the Todd and Joe morning show.
Is the intro being weird for you?
Nope.
It's like frozen right now on me. It's actually frozen on you.
Oh, no. I can see you.
Hey, I'm guessing it's over by now. I'm going to refresh it, see if that works. Hang on.
Yeah. Hey, everybody. Knock, knock, bitches. Joe's gone. Just me. Yeah. Todd and Joe. Morning show. Just Todd. Here comes Joe.
I'm back.
I'm
Did it
back.
work? Am I back?
You seem to be back. You never were gone in the first
dude.
place for me.
All right. So that was very, very stressful for me. And do you know what happens to Pedro Jose when he gets stressed?
He's got to smoke the weed.
I prefer to. And do you know where the best place to get bud in the whole of 315 is?
I believe if you whip out your cell phone,
Okay,
and you go to the old Google and type in 4658 Onondaga Boulevard in Syracuse, New York, it will send you to Joe's Buds Cannabis Company. Best one around, best selection, best prices, everything you need, everything you want. Plus, the cool thing I like about them, I know I've said this before, is two things. One, they set up their right there. There you go. They set up their display cases in sativa, indica, and hybrid instead of by vendor, which is really cool because sometimes people get confused with vendors and how many they are and different whatever. So to walk in and be like, you know what, I'm more of a sativa person, which I personally am. You can go right over to the case and be like, okay, here are the sativas, and this looks good, that looks good, that doesn't look like something I want, you know, like whatever. Pick your shit and go. The other thing I like that they also do is they have their vendors come to the store once in a while,
right.
Set up table, talk to people about their products, about the different whatevers, because flower's been around forever. Edibles, you know, back in the day, it was grind up a bunch of weed and throw it in a fucking, you know, box brownie mix, and you either get fucked up or nothing happens. But now,
well, the key to that was what people always didn't realize is they got to decarb the weed first. If they decarb the weed first, you're gonna get fucked up.
Well, back in the 90s, nobody really that was.
Knew that.
I don't want to say that wasn't a thing because it probably was, but the internet wasn't as big as it was. So unless you really knew it, so yeah, we would just grind up fucking, you know, like a quarter and just throw it in the fucking brownies and, you know, bake them and whatever. And yeah, I won't lie, man. Like this one kid that made brownies, his fucking brownies, they would fucking put you down.
So they're like Joe's brownies that he makes now.
Yes.
I make crazy brownies.
That's I'll probably never eat.
So if you need bud, go out to Syracuse, go to Joe's Buds. You will not be disappointed.
And guess what? You'll also see a couple posters with these beautiful faces on it.
So, Todd, before we get into it,
what up, Hope?
I have brought something with me today.
Okay.
And so I watched this, and I'm going to tell you where my mind went after watching this. Now, Todd has no idea what this is about, what it pertains to, or anything.
Yeah.
Okay.
He just told me I genuinely just got home like 15 minutes ago. This is the first time I'm even smoking today.
And if you have your children around you, I recommend you just keep them there because this isn't an offensive video at all. All right. So we ready?
Did you know that it is possible that we are living in the year 1728 instead of 2025? Now, this is a very interesting theory called the phantom time hypothesis, where it suggests that 300 years of history never actually took place. In the 1990s, a German historian named Herbert Illig came up with this theory, suggesting that the Roman Emperor Otto III and Pope Sylvester II altered the calendar to be the year 1000, purely because it sounded more significant. This would be like a coffee shop opening up last year and changing its sign to say, serving coffee coffee since 1967 versus serving coffee since yesterday. It just sounds better. Anyways, let's look at the evidence. Up until the year 614, the Roman Empire was still around, and we have tons of records of war, leaders, daily life. They built major cities, aqueducts, and advanced technology, like inventing concrete, road networks, even paper. And then, after the year 911, we have lots of books and documents around medieval Europe. People were inventing mechanical clocks, windmills, better farming tools. But between those years, there's almost nothing. No big advancements, no major discoveries, virtually no change in population, very few written records. This is why this time is often referred to as the Dark Ages, because we literally don't know too much of what actually took place. So did just nothing happen for 300 years? Well, let's look at architecture. In the 600s, the Byzantine architecture was very popular. It had these big domed roofs, golden mosaics, and highly decorated interiors. Now, if you look at the Romanesque architecture, which was popular in the 900s, they have a relatively similar build. Large fortress-like buildings with thick walls and stone carvings. If 300 years did pass by, wouldn't we see a bigger difference in architecture, suggesting that buildings like these were actually built closer together and not 300 years apart? Back in those years, the calendar wasn't as solidified as it is today. In fact, they had 7 major calendars being used at the time, all of which would track time differently. So it is very possible that time was added or removed in this time frame. It happened, and more than once. So that is the bulk of the theory as to why we could actually be in 1728 and not 2025. Come back tomorrow where I share research on the other side of things, where those scenarios went and what actually took place in them. Be sure to like and follow for more fun videos like this. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.
Yo, how wild is that?
I mean, it. So, from everything else point of view, it's not like it would change much except for the year. You know, it's not like we would.
So yes, but my fucked up head goes to, what about all those prophecies and shit that were like supposed to have, like 2012, the world was supposed to end in 2012, all that shit. What if all that shit is true? We just fucked up what time we're actually in. So now we're expecting it, but guess what? We're 300 years early, and then 300 years from now, all of a sudden, the gods from the heavens come and bring rat. Like, how fucking insane would that be if all that shit was actually true, actually right? Like, there's some crazy, like, other dimensional or whatever the prophecies or theories are, but we dismissed it and be like, oh, look, 2012 happened. Oh, even if there was a discrepancy, it would have been this day. Didn't happen. Obviously, they didn't know what they were talking about. And then 300 years from now, all of a sudden, the earth cracks open and fucking Satan comes out and starts jerking off on everybody. Like,
good. Then you know what? In 300 years, those people can live through fucking Y2K again. They can live through fucking the 2012 shit again.
See, okay, so it's so funny you say that, because you're like the third or fourth person I've had this conversation with since I watched that video. And I presented it completely the same way. And every single one of them, now including you, brought up Y2K. Y2K wasn't one of those prophecies. That was just a theory we had because we invented computers. That's not like the old thing.
No, but that was worse than any of the prophecies because people lost their fucking minds. Like, people genuinely thought planes were going to fall from the sky. People thought that the computers
I know.
But you know what I mean? So it's just like one of those things
about
where,
like how, like, you ever see that movie, like, what is it? Day After Tomorrow or whatever? Like, I think that's what was supposed to happen on 2012. There's a movie called 2012 too, you know? So, like, I was referring to more like that kind of shit.
Oh, yeah. I'm just referring to everything that we had to deal with growing up because fuck that shit. It's not out of the question. I mean, yeah, people, and I think that's what people forget sometimes, is the calendar isn't something that has been one set time tracking device, I guess, if you will. Stop it, Indy. So people could change it. And like you said, there was a bunch of different calendars. Everybody always refers to like the Mayan calendar. And whatever we use now, is it like the Gregorian calendar or something like
Gregorian
that?
Calendar.
So, yeah, I mean, in theory, absolutely 100% somebody could be like, you know what? Let's just change it. because by the time, it kind of gets around, people aren't, thinking it's okay, it's a year 1,000 now, or just for the records, it's a year 1,000 now, and going
Right.
forward, it's whatever. I wouldn't put it past people of old, because obviously everything was so just new and just whatevering. So if they were just like, hey, yeah, and I think we all know that back in the day, I think you had your really, really smart people and just your really, really fucking stupid people. I mean, kind of like today, but there's the middle of the road. So, I forgot where I was going with this fucking weed. So people would just, they're just going to follow what you tell them. They're just going to fucking, hey, it's this year. Or, I remember what it was. Carlin said it. Big numbers sound scary. The 10 commandments, the year 1,000, it's just more of a kind of to it, compared to hey, it was the year 17 or it was the year 745,
it's funny you make that example because have you ever seen the TV series Ghosts?
I've seen commercials for it.
Okay, so
it looks amazing.
I honestly think you would absolutely love it. So essentially what it is, it's this house. And when you're a ghost, apparently you're stuck to the property line of a house, right? And all the ghosts kind of have that in this world you're stuck to the property line of the house. But each ghost kind of has a unique ability, usually pertaining to how they died. So or how they live. So there's this hippie chick that's there. Her name's Flower. She tried to hug a grizzly bear and was mauled to death on the property. But if a human walks through her, they instantly get stoned. All right. So there's a Viking there named Thor, and there's this heavyset black lady from the 20s who was a lounge singer. Well, when she first had died, Thor had his 1,000th birthday, which was really, really big for him, and she didn't attend it. And he's been holding this grudge against her for 50 years. And he says that he's like, it was my 1,000th birthday. It was so important and you didn't come. And she's like, you got to see where I'm coming from. I just got turned into a ghost. I'm still new to this. And you're talking about you've lived like this for 1,000 years. This is going to be my just undying existence forever. So it's funny you make that because it was the same thing. She was it's so daunting hearing that, but that's absolutely something they can do. Since if a company buys another company and they keep buying them, they're still going to say they've been doing something since 1840, even though it wasn't their company that actually did it.
Right. Yeah. No, it's it's a very plausible theory, in my opinion. Because people, you had those hierarchies and whatever, they could just be and that's the thing too. There's nobody around to say that it did or didn't happen. So, if it was just written as part of history, which is people kind of deciding, not to go down a crazy rabbit hole, but obviously history is mostly people deciding what they do and don't want you to know that happened in the past. Not every God-given thing that's happened in history is written down somewhere. So, they could have just been hey, how about we just say that this part is, nothing really happens. It's just the dark. We kind of just cruise through life for 300 years.
Well, it's crazy to think that they did that to make it just nothing happened there.
Yeah. Yeah. That's just.
I do have one more thing to address before we get into the show proper. And I know we've been going for almost 15 minutes, but in 6 days, Todd, you will be representing this podcast. Our duo-ness is on the line on this year.
Right, man. I'm gonna do the podcast right.
420 special. Okay. So Todd will be facing Alex DeFazio and Joe Simons in the first ever game of Jeopardy. All right, spelled Joe Party. You know, I like to do things like that. You know, but like, have you been studying? Have you been?
I've been studying. I've been training. When I'm at work, I'm like trimming plants and reading books at the same time. It's crazy.
That's awesome.
And listening to books on tape.
Oh, dude, that's crazy.
Even though they're not on tape, they're on Spotify. It's all over the place, man.
Right.
Yeah, like, no, I've been training hard. You know, I did a run the other day. It was from the living room to the bathroom because I ate a lot of Taco Bell. So I mean, still kind of a run, getting that exercise in, and you know, had to flush in the system.
Cardio, I think, is going to be important.
Yeah, you know, but you know, at Taco Bell was a stoner moment. I just and it just was like, no.
That's perfect.
So I mean, that was a little bit of exercise, but nope, I'm studying up. I'm confident. I'm confident in myself and my stonerisms that I will bring home the gold for us, Joe.
Well, you know what? I'm going to do you one better here. I'm gonna put the spotlight on me. I have a message for Mr. Simons and Mr. DeFazio. All right. I want you two to understand right here. And I want you to understand right now. I don't care what facet, whatever part of the cannabis industry you guys think you guys are. Alex with his little Tony Stark-esque, the high index. Hey, well, look, check my app, blah, blah, blah. And then Mr. Joe Simons, fucking, dude, he's a yuppie now. He made that 180. He turned his back on his roots of being that street stoner kid with the fuck the police attitude. And what is he now? Slick suits, courtrooms, corporate meetings for Joe's Buds. Because guess what? I'm going to be an entrepreneur too. I got two words for both of you. In the words of the great prophet and semi-messiah, Paul Levesque, suck it. I got you, bro.
We're gonna win. We're gonna
because you know what? At the end of the day, Joe is up, and I'm going to. And Alex, he can go.
Wow.
Bitch. Anyways, go on, Todd.
So, yeah. All I could think of, I was trying to find a good picture, and I just couldn't quickly. When you were like, he switched, blah, 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 was Matthew Lillard at the end of SLC Punk.
Yeah, well, that's
shaved head, fucking suit, you know.
Well,
like,
so a little bit behind the curtain in the grill position. That's kind of what I was referencing and going for with that promo, taking that shot on how he's just a rich guy now, a billionaire lawyer.
Great fucking movie. Love that.
Lex Luthor. Sorry. Lex Luthor can't walk. Jeez. All right, go.
Jesus Christ, man. You know.
TI News, where the useless news comes first.
3 world records today, Joe. 3 out of 4 stories are world records.
Wait,
to it
how
with
many?
A motherfucking ninja.
How many, Todd?
3, motherfucker.
The
world's top Guinness record breaker put his ninja skills to the test. Oh, it's this motherfucker again. I didn't even read the whole article.
When you said the world's most record breaker, I knew immediately who you're talking about.
Put his ninja skills to the test by using his chopsticks.
I'm kind of over this guy now. He's kind of like he's a cheater that cheats. You know, he's pretty much he's a little whiny baby. He's a little whiny baby, breaking a little weird.
This is kind of a feat in a way because I never thought of these as something as a projectile. So he put his ninja skills to the test by using chopsticks to hit a target across the distance of 13 feet. Idaho man David Record Breaker Rush. I don't know if they gave him that nickname or what, but
I think, did Garrett come up with his nickname?
probably. Who holds the most concurrent Guinness World Records, reclaimed the record for most target hits with chopsticks in 1 minute. The record requires a prospective record breaker to stand 13 feet away and hit the inner gold and red circles of the archery target. Chopsticks flew one after another. They sailed through the air, finding their mark in the coveted gold and red zones. The rhythm was almost meditative, each successful hit fueling the next, Rush recalled. Rush really set the record at 19 hits, but his title was later taken by another chopstick marksman who managed 21. Rush successfully retook the record with 29 hits. So it is literally an archery target.
And they're just
And
playing
you
darts
have
with
to throw
chopsticks.
them and get them to fucking stick in the target. So that actually, like, I mean, most of the world records we read from that dude are just fucking stupid. But that one is, to me, one that actually does take some skill, because you have to be, even if it's a softer target, you still got to have a little bit of velocity behind a fucking chopstick to make it stick into an archery target.
No, you absolutely do.
So that one I'll actually give him the credit for, because, yeah, I mean, most of the other ones he does are just fucking dumb. Like, really just.
Oh, 100%.
This next one is more of like a heartfelt, like, hooray story. It really is. I'm not even being facetious. I used a big word. A North Carolina family spotted their missing dog online 3 years after the canine disappeared from their home. The Rocky Mountain Police Department said on social media that Jonathan Sharon and his wife spotted their long missing dog Kaz on Rocky Mount's pet finder page. Kaz had gone missing 3 years earlier from the Shreen's home in Lewisburg, about 35 miles from Rocky Mount. Not mountain, Mount. My team and I were overwhelmed with joy, Derek Barnhill, the city animal control supervisor, told McClathy News. While we reunite animals with their owners daily, it is rare to see a reunion after such a long period. Barnhill said Kaz's husky heritage likely contributed to his original escape. Huskies are well known for their intelligence, high energy levels, and independent nature, often earning them reputations of being escape artists, he said. These traits could lead them to find creative ways to leave their homes and wander. Kaz's case is exactly what happened. The police department said the Sharons never stopped searching for their beloved dog. It's moments like these that remind us why we do what we do, to help bring families together, the Post said. That's fucking crazy. Because I think most people, after like 6 or 8 months, as much as they, in their heart, hope that they will find their lost dog, generally after a period of time, you just also kind of mentally accept that you probably won't. So to go for 3 years,
I feel like it's a lot sooner. I feel like after like 2 weeks, like you're kind of like, fuck, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah. But for 3 years to go by,
right,
and them not know now, you know, which to me raises all sorts of questions. Like, was somebody watching the dog? Was this dog literally living out in the fucking wild for 3 years? Now it's North Carolina, so it's not like they get like cold weather like we do. They get, you know, fucking, you know, tornadoes and shit like that, but they don't get like the freezing temperatures that last for 10 years and all that shit. So yeah. So that was the heartfelt story today. Now on to more world records.
What do you have for me?
The California woman with the world's largest tongue, 3.8 inches, showed off some of the tricks she could perform with her massive mouth muscle, including removing Jenga blocks. Chanel Taper, 34, who has held the Guinness World Record for the longest tongue female since 2010, said her tongue, which measures 3.8 inches from the tip to her lips, giggity, gets her an array of reactions. Honestly, the best reaction I could ever get when someone sees my tongue is screaming. I actually do like it when people yell or scream in shock or horror sometimes. Obviously, these people have never fucking seen Gene Simmons, so I don't know why this is such a shocking thing.
What's her name?
Chanel, Chanel, Tapper, Tapper. But that's probably my favorite one because it's funny to me because it's a dramatic response. Tapper showed off some of the tricks she has learned to perform with her tongue, also giggity, removing Jenga blocks, flipping plastic cups, and holding a spoon.
Look at that.
Is that her?
Yeah. That's Chanel.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I like little fun, silly things like that. That's what makes my tongue the most fun when I can do things around. Well, hold on. I gotta reread this because it sounds hilarious out of context. I like little fun, silly things like that. That's what makes my tongue the most fun when I can do things that are outside the box with it.
Huh. Well, so is that her way of telling us that she's straight? Because she said, you get what the joke was there?
Yeah. Outside the box.
Outside the box, you know?
She said being a Guinness World Record holder has provided her with some unexpected opportunities, including appearing in an advertising campaign for Italian fashion brand Diesel. Like,
oh, nice.
Diesel? Like fucking...
Like the jean company. No. Like, it's a very, like, expensive, like, designer jean company.
Oh, no, I don't know fancy things.
No,
I just think of either...
I wish Big Daddy had a clothing company in Italy, I guess.
Here's one more. And it's weird because at first you're like, that's not. And then you think about it once he explains it. You're like, okay, that makes sense. An Egyptian freediver plunged into the Red Sea to break the Guinness World Record for the most pull-ups under open water with one breath. Now, thinking about it, you're like, that's stupid. But once you hear an explanation, you're like, you know what? That actually probably isn't easy. This dude whose name I'm not even going to try to pronounce, he swam 29 feet and 6 inches straight down to where his pull-up bar was waiting. A lot of people think it's easy because you're pulling yourself up underwater. The buoyancy will help you, which is true. But the challenge was actually pushing myself back down.
Yeah.
He told Guinness World Record that was really the challenge because I'm resisting the water and I'm doing this on a single breath of a depth of 9 meters.
Right.
He managed to take the record with 33 pull-ups before he had to surface for air. This is a pretty indescribable feeling. I'm one of the people who are in the history books now. This is too big for my brain to absorb, he said. So, I mean, that to me, again, is a good world record, a cool world record. One to be like, yeah, I did this, So, yeah,
All right.
TI News, where the useless news comes first.
So, obviously, since we're in the future and coming from the past, we're about to talk about 2 different things that have happened in our time, but will be, I don't want to say old news, but it'll have been a couple weeks. So 2 things. One, the other day, there was a Nintendo Direct unveiling basically the Switch 2, the price point of games. People lost their mind, not in a, oh my God, the Switch 2, but more of, oh my God, you're charging us $450 for this fucking console. Oh my God, you're charging us $80 for these video games, digital copies. So I don't know if you have a Switch.
I do.
Enjoy the Switch.
I have the original model and the Lite.
Okay. I like it. I'm a Mario freak. I'm a Zelda freak. Both me and my girlfriend are. We play a lot of games. We're currently playing like the whatever of Donkey Kong Country or whatever the fuck they just put back out. I'm on the fence with the whole thing because I like supporting Nintendo. Because to me, they're a gaming company that has been like, listen, we've been through hell and back as gaming company. So many different consoles still in it between PlayStation and Xbox and PC. And we're still putting out something new that there's still quality to. They've obviously adapted games to more violent type than family friendly. But do you feel it's worth $450? Do you feel that games are worth $80 fucking dollars? A digital copy of a game?
I mean, that honestly is no different than Xbox or PlayStation. Like they're like where historically Nintendo has been cheaper in price, not quality console, because it was more directed towards the younger kids, where they are kind of transitioning to kind of being an alternative to the other games, not just aimed at children. Do I want them to be more expensive? Absolutely not. Do I understand the logic behind it? They want to stay competitive, and companies like Microsoft and Sony have a lot of other revenue points where Nintendo is more of a very niche thing. Nintendo's not making TVs. Nintendo's not making any other products unless it has to do with Nintendo gaming. So, like, yes, they have like some IP and stuff, but not anywhere near compared to the other ones. The other ones are, you know, multinational, true conglomerates in every business. So, like, I get it. I don't like it, no, but I get it. I'm not. It is what it is. Am I going to get one right off the jump? I probably not. Will I get one? Yeah, eventually. But like when the new Xbox comes out, I'll pre-order that. Where the Switch, I don't know if I necessarily will.
Well, see, I guess my thing too is, and I'm not saying, you know, because the original Switch was $300, you know, and it's not like that was like astronomically long ago that it came out. If you really think about it, it had to have been
7 years ago.
Yeah. So I mean, it's not like
7, 8
I mean,
at most.
times, you know, I mean, obviously, you know, change and, you know, things expensive, etc. But like, also, it's like, wouldn't you? Now, going kind of back to what you say about keeping up with the competition, which is true, and they don't have an array of other shit like those two companies do. But to me, logically, and this is just me, I'm not a business person, I'm not whatever.
8 years ago,
Okay.
a little over 8 years ago.
Oh, did I just kill my battery on my vape? I think I did. Low battery. Fuck.
Oh, I hate that.
Yeah, I'm fucked. So, no more smoking for me for the rest of the fucking show. That's the only thing I had to say I'm not a fan of, and I feel like the battery goes really quick in those vapes.
I agree.
But anyway, I would feel like, because of the way everything is anymore, the way how everything is more money centric than it used to be. You know, obviously everybody was always about money, but more recently with eggs being, you know, your soul and your firstborn and shit like that. You would think if it was, you would charge like less than that, because not a lot of people have money. So again, and this is just my standing, not a business person, not a, hey, I know how much it costs to make them and the labor, you know, I obviously that's not included in how I think. And I'm not saying, oh, charge $200 for it, be sweet. But like, you charge a little less, you're, in my head, you're going to sell more. So you're going to make up that difference because you are charging less, but because it is less, you know, if it was $350, I guarantee people would not be throwing the shit fit that they are.
No,
Like,
I agree with that, but also, I don't know what their sales numbers are. I don't know.
That's the thing. I don't know, where I can't say, hey, this is a factual thing. If they did it, it would work.
And I don't know if they're truly trying to become like a cross-platform competitor of Xbox or PlayStation and PC gaming too. Like I don't know what the plan is. I don't know what all the features and everything this thing is gonna do. Right. But it might be more than what the Nintendo consoles have been since pretty much like the GameCube. Like after the GameCube, they've kind of gone more for like the hybrid type or different, not typical video game, like with the Wii, with the Switch, with the U, like things like that. They're like trying different ways to incorporate things, which has always been very, very innovative. Like the Wii was a game changer, the Switch also a game changer, and you've seen Xbox and PlayStation try to create things like that to compete with them, and it just didn't. It just didn't.
And the cool part is, you know, growing up, you know, we had shit like Game Gear, Game Boy, you know, Color Game Boy, etc. So you had that portableness of it. And then Xbox, Microsoft, you know, they're like, oh, fuck that, you know, PlayStation tried the PSP, and that kind of was like good for a bit, and then just kind of like they just fizzled out. But to have, you know, that, hey, you know what, it's fucking it's a portable gaming, you know, your screen is HD, even though it's portable, like you're not like a green screen like fuck Game Boy, you know what I mean? So it's like you have two gaming devices. You know, you have your main console that you could plug into a TV, and you have one that, you know, when I was making fucking maple syrup.
Right.
Whoops. When I was making, sorry, hit button.
Is it breaking Todd news? Did he break another world record?
Yes.
Did it happen?
When I was making maple syrup the other day, I was sitting on the back porch because I had to fucking keep an eye on it, and I was playing the Switch, you know, which was just nice to be able to be like, all right, well, like, I gotta fucking watch this for hours on end, you know, let's play something. So it's cool that they're still doing, you know, something like that. But so yeah, I don't know. Like it's like you. Do I want to get it when it comes out? Yes. As therapy goes on, I'm learning more about myself and like my impulse and why I buy impulsively and run up credit cards, etc. But regardless, will I get it eventually? Will I you know, bitch about it? Probably. Not bitch about the console itself, but you know, the price. But I mean, they are doing where you get fucking the system and the fucking Mario Kart for like $500. So I mean, technically you're getting the game for $50.
Right.
But
so this next thing you want to talk about, I haven't watched it yet. I've been waiting to watch it with you. I was at work when it came out.
Can we watch it and not get flagged?
Ooh.
As long as it's not from Paramount?
If it's not from Paramount, then we should be fine.
I thought, oh, okay. Okay, then this is even better. Let me see. I know that there was a Paramount one. There's the Paramount one. There's one that's IGN.
I mean, we could try
one
it.
Called One Media.
Do that one.
Okay. Let me, right. Share screen.
And if it gets flagged, I'll just cut this part out and it'll just be before and after.
Okay.
Multiple SWAT units responding to hostage situation.
Hey, little girl, stop!
Was it in Police Academy?
One. Your ass.
Who are you?
Frank Drebin, Police Squad. The new version. Hi, Daddy.
Hold on.
It's me,
This
Frank
is the best
Jr.
part.
Love you.
Hey, Dad. Boy, do I miss you.
That was so. If you watch the show enough and you know me, I don't like stuff that was like cult classics like that get like redone. And yeah, obviously a lot of people think of Liam Nielsen as, you know, as him, you know, like this kind of badass, gruff, you know, kind of whatever. So when it's like he's gonna be in, you know, the Naked Gun reboot, which it isn't, I won't even call it a reboot because if he is technically the son of Frank Drebin,
right? So like that's the thing. It's not a.
It's like a continuation,
sequel.
yeah, but like a restart. But
it's the Naked Gun in a fourth,
right? So I saw that yesterday, I think, maybe yesterday. Yeah, yesterday. And I was like, well, I'm gonna watch it, because anything, I will give it a try, even though like
Because you told me you were not excited. So when I saw you say I'm excited about that in the group chat, I'm like, I'm waiting to watch it till
and I've watched it. That was probably like the fourth or fifth time I've watched it now.
Oh my god. Oh my, and dude, they got the dude from Cobra Kai as I forget
Pamela
the partner's
Anderson's
name.
in it.
Oh my god, that's
So here's what I think.
awesome.
Here's what I think is going to save it. Seth MacFarlane.
100%.
Because he has an appreciation since he was part of the 90s humor with, Family Guy was in the late 90s when that started.
Mm-hmm.
So he has that appreciation for that dumb humor.
See, and he's already proven that he can do it in film. He's proven that his Family Guy way totally fits. I'm pumped about this. I can't fucking wait. It actually makes me want to go back and watch the originals, including, huh?
There was one. So on Sling TV, there's a channel called National Lampoon's Channel, and it's just comedies.
Yeah.
So there's been like Wayne's World, whatever. If that was on, that's where I watched Clue. That's why I put that shit up because it was on the other night. And that movie is just hands down. It is truly one of the best underrated movies of all time, like ever. That was like comedy gold. So I mean, everybody in that movie was fucking great. I love Clue. But yeah, no, I am excited about it for those two reasons. That trailer and it's Seth MacFarlane. But that slam on OJ, that was beautiful. That was amazing. That was gorgeous. Like that was absolutely just 100% like, yep. And I'm assuming throughout the whole movie, knowing Seth, that there's going to be jabs left and right at that character. Can you get off do we have time for things you could say at the carnival in bed?
Well, I'm going to give you some what the fuck facts first.
Okay. Fuck me up.
This first one. Well, I feel like I'm not contributing anything at all. So I feel like I'm going to make it seem like I do stuff here.
Your presence is enough.
Right. So initially, and this makes sense, beer was considered a soft drink in Russia. Human meat is rich in protein.
Soylent Green? I learned that from Futurama.
Blood donors in Sweden get texts when their blood is used. Before the term bloopers was coined, mistakes like that were known as boners. Viagra can make flowers stay erect also.
Wow, we just transitioned right there from boners to Viagra. It was beautiful.
Dogs are banned from Antarctica. I don't know if there's some kind of beef between the locals and dogs there, or maybe they
probably don't like throwing down them polar bears.
Yeah, maybe. The small holes under frozen pizzas prevent air bubbles from forming in the dough. And we will end with, in Slovakia, they have a Christmas carp that lives in the family bathtub for a few days before they are eaten.
Hopefully you have more than fucking one shower.
I mean, or maybe you just shower with the fish at your feet.
So, growing up in the 80s, in the 90s, there was good shows on. Growing Pains was one of them.
Yes.
And that was the Seavers, right? Was it Growing Pains? Yeah. So, does anybody are we just never going to talk about in life that Mike Seavers' best friend's nickname was Boner?
Boner. I always thought that was funny.
I mean, as a kid, before you knew about it, it was like, oh, it's his friend Boner. And then you got older and you're like, why was his name that? Like, why would, and obviously it's not like it's a term that just popped up in the 90s.
Right.
You know, it's a term that's been around for a bit, obviously. So yeah, it's just funny to me. Like, no one ever really like speaks of Mike Seaver's best friend's name was Boner, and it was just said so many times.
And with Todd making that comment, now he's going to talk about things you
could say at a carnival and in bed.
After we talk about boners and Viagra making flowers hard. Okay.
Yeah.
Make me giggle.
So yeah, things you can say at a carnival and in bed. Must be this tall to ride. This is the best view in the city.
That's good.
You didn't tell me it was this big. I can't believe you made me get off. Who is your daddy? I've been waiting all night for this. This one. Daddy, can I ride again? Hold all loose items. Not responsible for lost or stolen objects. Is it disinfected? Hold on tight. You're in for a bumpy ride. The guy operating this ride has no idea what he's doing. Get off. I'm going to throw up. Can I ride it again? You're going too fast. This really is a fun house. Yes, I want whipped cream on that. Don't touch that. You don't know where it's been. Wash your hands when you're done. I'm having so much fun, I don't want to get off. And the last one sounds like something a hooker in Utica would say. 3 rides for $1. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is things you can say at a carnival and in bed. I am so glad that I just kind of stumbled upon this. It has been fantastic.
And I think that's the show for today.
Tune in
Mondays.
Sunday. No, it's Sunday. Isn't Sunday going to be our 420 show?
Oh, yeah. This Sunday's
Tune in Sunday at
it's
4.
Easter. We got WrestleMania this weekend.
So it'll be on
annual 420 special. Todd's going to beat some bitches up.
So it'll be on at 4, right? It'll start at 4 because we do the countdown to 420, correct?
Actually, I think it'll be like 401 or 402, depending on how I think it'll be like 402. It'll start. There'll be a timer on there. No, it wouldn't be 402. It would be 58. So it'd be 3:58. It'll start because there's like 2 minutes before the timer starts.
Okay.
So it'll be 3:58. It'll go live. There'll be a timer there. So at 420 on 420, you can 420 with us. It's Easter. It's night 2 of WrestleMania. And then Monday, you'll have us. Tuesday, Wrestle Fandom, and it's our biggest episode of the year. It is our biggest episode of the year. It's our first episode after WrestleMania. It's the start of the new season. So we have to talk about WrestleMania, the Hall of Fame, the Raw after Mania. It's going to be a long episode. It's going to be a long day.
We might have to start early because that might be a long episode where we want to start early and actually do a longer episode, but start early.
And I actually need to make sure I'm not working. We might have to do that episode on Wednesday, actually. But regardless. Anyway, tune in.
We love you.
Knock, knock, bitches. Knock, knock.
Knock, knock.
This is Pedro Jose and Ashton Kutcher.
Joe's Buds. Check them out.